So last week we were starting to look at doing some more balancing postures, and starting to work in a little bit more depth with the core. I don't know if you felt that, but that's what we were doing. So we're going to develop that a little bit more. And we were also doing some, the core we often think is just the tummy muscles. But of course, there are many, many muscles all the way round, and that are related to the core strength. And so I was doing some back exercises, so lying in prone positions and lifting the body weight up, and inviting you to really hold the core of the pelvic floor and so on as you lifted up, and used your body as the weight that you were lifting. So some resistance there, and some isometric contractions as you were coming down slowly, so that the muscles were having to work hard as they lengthened out. They didn't just sort of flop. That was the intention. So today we're going to do a little bit more of that, and to start to work into some twists as well, which are also strengthening for the core muscles, so that we're working in one direction and then back in the other, but with some tone there. So that's what we're doing today, just so that you know that there's always a little bit of a plan going on, even though it might not feel like it. So we're going to start off in sitting, because as I said, this is the last Yoga Nidra session, which we're going to finish this session with. So let's just start in sitting, and finding an easy posture for you. So it might be one leg in front of the other, in easy sitting pose, that's what it's called. Or log, or you might have your legs outstretched, or one in, one out. This entirely depends on your hips and how you're feeling. So as we come into easy sitting, just noticing what happens through the front of the body, and as you draw in through the pelvic floor and create a sense of lengthening through these muscles that run down here, there's a lifting up that can happen. So the core is not all about contraction and holding in. It's helping us to really lengthen and give us the opportunity to do this in safety, but also gives us a sense of elevation and has a real impact on the spine. So closing the eyes, if that's okay for you, and starting off by just literally feeling into that. So it might be you want to sort of let go in the core, and as you do that, just noticing how there's a little bit of a rounding, a slumping down that happens. And then as you draw the tummy in and have some strength there, it protects the spine and allows the spine to lengthen, creating space. So having that tone from the pelvic floor all the way up through the center of the body, all those internal muscles, all the way along the spine, checking in with the shoulders and making sure you're not holding on in the shoulders, and then just placing the hands in a comfortable position. So it might be the palms facing upwards, the thumb and first finger together. Noticing as we sit here together how the body's feeling. What's here for you in your spine, tailbone, hips, knees, ankles, toes, and all the way up to the shoulders, neck, jaw. And just recognizing that although you're holding some tone in the center of the body, you're not preventing yourself from breathing freely. So you're not sort of locking in a mudra. So it's not like a blocking that you're doing that we sometimes do in yoga, Mula Bandha. feeling the breath, the ebb and flow of the breath. And as we start to begin to move in a moment or two, paying particular attention to this part of the body as you go through some movement, so that as we move, there's a sense of real control that we can gain through the movement, rather than just sort of flopping like from side to side, which is what we're going to start off with. Good. So just opening the eyes if they're closed, and taking the right hand down, the left arm up and over. And as we come up and over, feeling that sense of lifting up through this part of the body as we ease over. And then as you go to the other side, slowly. So that you're sort of lifting up out of the waist. There's a softness in the arms as you go side to side. And every time you go over to one side or the other, just see if you can stretch a little bit more. So this control through the core gives us the opportunity to ease further, and the further we go, the more the body opens and releases. And feeling the breath in all of this. And the next time you go over to the right, holding it there, hand on the floor, and it might be that you can start to really bend through that elbow. Just feeling the stretch from your fingertips through the side of the body, the rib cage, down to the hip. Breathing into the left side. And then lifting up and over. Left hand on the floor, bending through the elbow, maybe a little bit more, reaching over. Deep breaths. Good. And then gently easing yourself back up. Have a roll of the shoulders. And we're going to go into a little bit of a twist. So firstly, starting to, reminding yourself to be lifting up through the spine. And so you just take the right hand behind, the left hand comes over to the right leg or knee. Take a breath in, breathing out, turning to look behind you. Right shoulder down, feeling that elevation. And then going in the other direction. So it becomes quite a dynamic twist in that we're going from side to side, and see if you can just go a little bit more each time. And then next time you go to the right, holding that there, placing the hand on the outer side of the leg or wherever, breathing in, breathing out, seeing if you can take it a little bit further. And the other way. And then gently bringing it back to the center, have a roll of the shoulders. And then we're going to come into cat. So it might be you want to take your socks off at this point. So finding your way to cat posture with the wrists immediately below the shoulders, the knees below the hips. Nice flat back And just have a play around again with how the core really has an impact on how you feel. So, and the position of the spine. So just drawing in to have some tone, but you're not sort of squeezing too tight. Taking a breath in, breathing out, really focusing on the pelvic floor, and then rounding the back. The chin coming down to the chest, and then softening through the tailbone, lifting it up to the ceiling as that wave comes up and the head lifts as the last part of the body. Feeling the breath, really smooth, flowing breath with the movement. Rounding the shoulders, so rolling the shoulders as the back comes up to the ceiling, and then rolling them back as you come back down. So just really having a play around with that too. It makes a difference to how it feels in the shoulder blades and underneath. And then just easing back, have a little shake of the hands. So we're going to go into tiger, and really as we're going into tiger, moving that leg through, we're working on our lower abs. So feeling into that as we take the body weight over to the left, extending the right leg away, breathing in and then breathing out, drawing in through the pelvic floor, the whole of the belly, rounding the back, tuck the head towards the knee towards the head, and then extend away on the next inhale. And remember to keep that rolling movement of the shoulders. So the shoulders are very much involved in this movement sequence. And the more slowly you do it, the more you can feel into the tummy, into the core. And as you lift your leg up and the head up, just notice what it's like in the back. There's a real sense of control of the whole of the body. Good. And then nice and gently placing that knee down, maybe have a breath in and out. And then coming over to the other side, extending the left leg away, point the toes, the head comes up, drawing in, rounding the back, the shoulders, as the knee comes in and the head comes to the knee, and then rolling them back as you extend away. Aware of the breath. Contracting through the core, the pelvic floor. And then gently down, ease back, release into the wrists. Fingers, just give them a little shake, a roll. As we come back up into it. And last time we were sort of balancing opposite arm to legs. We're going to do that again, but this time from that balancing point, we're going to move the arm and leg out. So we'll see how it goes, but you really need to bring in some stability to do this. So we'll start off by extending the left leg away. And then if you can, peel the right arm off the mat, the hand off the mat, and just have the arm and the leg as parallel to your spine as possible. And then we're going to move the leg out to the side, the arm out to the side, and back in. So you're keeping it parallel to the floor as you're moving an arm and a leg out. Good. Nice, Zoe. Lovely, Karen. Beautifully slow, Linda. Good. Keep looking down at the floor as you're doing this. Taking it out as far as you can and then bringing it back slowly, slowly to the central position. Keep breathing. And then gently coming back down, just have a breath or two. And then extending the right leg away, the left arm. It's holding that position. And then when you're ready, taking the arm and the leg out to the side and back in again. Well done, John. Oh. Just keep looking down at the floor so that you're not hyperextending through the neck. Slowly, slowly does it. It's controlling the movement. And then gently, when you're ready, coming back and ease yourself down, and let's just release into the wrists again. I know it's quite hard on the wrists, but it's good for your core. So it's just all about finding modifications that suit you as well. Good. So we're going to go into elbow dog. And so it gives your wrists a little bit of a break too. So coming into cat once more, seeing where your heels of your hands are, and then bringing your elbows into that, tapping the elbows on, the fingers onto the elbows, and then planting your hands down. So we were doing this last week. Take a breath in, breathing out, coming on up into elbow dog. And then again, just noticing what it feels like to draw in through the core, lengthen through the tailbone, heels coming down towards the floor. And then take a breath in, breathing out, let the right leg come up. Just hold that there. Drawing through the tummy, and then move that leg out to the side and then back to the center. So only a little movement, doesn't have to be anything too much. And then gently let that foot come down, shift the body weight over, lift the left leg up, drawing through the core, and then that leg goes out to the side and the center. And then slowly down to both legs, feet on the floor, and then gently bring the knees down and go into extended child. Just release into the shoulders. Keep the hands where they are. Take a breath in, coming through, and let's just go into hanging cobra. So legs are parallel. Just let the spine release, looking forwards, and breathe. So let's do that a few times, just slowly coming up, transitioning through cat, down into extended child. On the exhale, coming back up, connecting through the core as you ease yourself through the shoulders. Let the head come up. Just relaxing down through the spine. Such a lovely feeling. Pelvic floor tight as you ease yourself up and back. Just doing this at your own pace, back and forth. Maybe resting here in this extension. Really enjoying the sensation of stretch and opening. And then very gently coming back up and ease your hands back, sitting in Vajrasana, just in kneeling. A roll of the shoulders. Just ease your way through the shoulders. Let's just interlace the fingers, palms up to the ceiling, lifting up and just going side to side. Just easing from one side to the other. Good. And then we're going to just come into a squat, and that might mean that you separate the feet quite away. Like a little frog, Seth. Can you be a frog? That's it. So elbows just into the inner thighs, hands together. Just let the tailbone come down. See if you can lengthen up through the spine as much as possible. If your heels aren't on the floor, maybe try separating your feet a little bit more. And sometimes it's helpful if you're going along the mat, just to hold the outer edges of the mat. Gives you some stability. And then take a breath in as you breathe out, if you can, coming up to standing. Well done, Seth, you're showing us up. He's jumping around like a little frog. So have a little shake of the legs, the hands, the shoulders. Just ease it all through. And let's do the same with the hips. So loosening into the hips. All right. Bringing those legs to hip distance apart. Feet pointing forwards. And in that position, just ease the hips from side to side. So you keep the upper body completely straight and still. If this is a possibility for your body, smooth the hips. I know I've got very flexible hips, so it might not be working for you quite in this same way. All right, so we're going to go into a wide angle forward bend. Take the hands behind, breathing in, breathing out, press the pelvis forwards, soften through the knees, breathing in, your lucky granny, breathing out, coming down. Let the head release into the neck. The knees are soft at this moment, allowing the spine to open, shoulders, just roll them a little, maybe one and then the other. And then keeping the hands in the middle, ease from side to side. So you're bending one knee, straightening the other. And
Noticing if you're holding on like with the shoulders or the neck, and give them a little shake, but also being aware of the relationship of your core. And as you bring some tone here, how that enables you to go a little bit further. So we're going to go over to the right, maybe even wriggle the left foot away from you a bit more. Just holding that posture, drawing in the pelvic floor, breathing, nice long breaths. Good, and then over to the other side. Deepening into that on the left side if you can, with the knee bent. And then over onto the right side again. Walk your hands towards the right foot, bending through the knee, and lift up the left toe, set of toes. So the right knee is completely bent, your bottom sort of sitting down on your right heel. This is all related to your hips and your knees and what you can do. Just feeling there should be a beautiful long stretch through your inner thigh and the back of the leg. And then breathing in, coming back up to the center, breathing out, doing the same the other side, lifting those right toes up off the floor. And you might find you can go one way and not the other, depending on what's going on for you. So your bottom's coming right down onto your heel. Can you do that, Karen, or not get there? No, not with your hip. Okay. And then coming back up to the center, just have another hang in the middle with both legs as straight as you possibly can. And then softening through the knees, keep the feet apart and gently, gently coming on up. So with the feet still wide, we're going to turn the right foot around. So the heel of the right foot is at in the middle of the left, at right angles to the left. Keeping the pelvis forwards, bending through the right knee, really rolling that knee back so it's on top of, above the right ankle. Notice how that hip, the left hip, wants to roll, but we're just drawing it back again using our core. And we're going to go over into a nice side bend. So just let the elbow come down onto the thigh, relax through the hand and the fingers. Take the left hand up to the ceiling and really feel you're lifting up through the shoulder and then easing past the ear. Let the head come down, stretching down through the left side of the body. And then paying real attention to your core and noticing as you draw your core in, how you can go over more deeply into this side stretch, side bend. So every time you breathe out, see if you can bend through the knee a little bit more. Let the hand come, or the arm come past your ear. Belly button going to the base of the spine. And then turning the left hand up to the ceiling. Just gives that shoulder a good old stretch. And breathe. Nice long breaths in and out. And as we transition back up, doing that as slowly as you possibly can. So pressing down into the right foot, let the arm come back. Feeling into that transition. And then turning both feet to the front, maybe having a little wriggle of the hips again. And then turning the left foot around. So the right foot stays at right ankles, the left foot turns, bending through that left knee, rolling the hip back, the knee above the ankle, keeping it nice and square, drawing in through the core, a piece of string coming up from the top of the head, and then let the elbow come down to the thigh, relax through the hand. Right arm comes up, really reaching up for the ceiling, and then across. And every time you breathe out, deepening down, reaching more, keeping the right hip rolling back. So really breathe into your right lung, opening into your ribs. And then turn that palm up to the ceiling. So it's very active. That arm is straight, or as straight as it can be. It's not sort of floppy. Your left hand is floppy, so you're not holding on. Keep that core nice and strong. Feel the body working to keep you there. And then gently and slowly easing yourself up, slowly as you can. And just walk your feet back in towards each other. A nice roll of the shoulders. A shake. So you're going to need to make sure you've got some space for the next one, which is going to be a revolving triangle, revolving Trikonasana. So we're going to take the arms out and revolve like that. So I might need to move a little bit. I think I will. So just making sure you've got plenty of air space around you. Okay, so we're going to go into it in sort of the classic way. In previous sessions, we've been going into revolving Trikonasana in lots of different ways. I don't know if you've noticed, but we have. So we're going to go into sort of the classic way. So we're going to take the legs one leg length apart again, turning the right foot out. So the left foot's pointing forwards and the right foot is turning out the sides. If it's helpful for revolving triangle, sometimes you can bring this left foot in even more. So you're going in that direction, if you see what I mean. So I'm going to take the arms out. You might want to soften into that knee a little bit if you feel like you're not stretched enough. Roll the shoulders back and down. So there's a feeling of really engaging the upper core muscles, the underneath the shoulder blades, but at the same time your tummy's nice and tight. And then take a breath in. And as you breathe out, we're going to revolve, keeping the arms straight to the right side. So turning, having a really good twist, first of all, keeping the arms straight. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, the left hand is coming down to the right foot, to the floor, and the right arm is coming up to the ceiling, and you turn to look at that right hand coming right up to the ceiling. Good, nice, Lisa. Good modification, John. So that's it, Zoe, you've got it. If you turn your palm around, Zoe, you might be able to lift your arm up a bit more. That's it. There we go. Perfect. So just play around with that. The position of your hand is really important in how much you can turn your body. It seems a strange thing to say, but that's the way our anatomy is. So as you breathe, just turning every out breath, taking that twist around a little bit further. You might be able to straighten your leg as your body gets used to this position. So if you can, see if you can have a play around with that, straightening the right leg. And see what it's like to draw in through the core and how that takes you around, even if it's just that fraction, a little bit more. Nice, Linda. Good, Karen. That's beautiful alignment. Louisa, you might want to turn your hand around, the one that's up. That's it. That's nice. It just helps to take the shoulder back a little bit more. And then we're going to come out of that in exactly the same way as we went into it. So take a breath in, breathing out. You lift your left arm up and slowly, slowly, with both arms straight, coming round. And then down. Nice one. And then just give yourself a little bit of a break in the middle. Come into mountain. Oh, a little bit of stillness. Close the eyes and just notice how one side of the body feels probably completely different to the other. Noticing what that's like. Perfect. And then obviously same the other side. So let me just talk you through. The right foot this time is turning in, or you might want to take it a little bit further if that is possible for you. The left foot is turning out. So starting off with the pelvis pointing forwards, arms out, and then engaging through the shoulder blades. Sometimes it's good to just turn the palms up to really get that feeling of opening through the front of the chest, and then keeping the shoulders where they are, the muscles nice and strong as you turn the palms down again. So just looking after this left knee, doing whatever you need to do with that. Lifting up out of the waist, breathing in, and as you breathe out, going into a strong twist, first of all, keeping the arms aligned with each other. And then when you're ready, really contracting through the core, slowly, slowly bringing your right hand down towards or onto the floor. If it's too far to go, you can get yourself a block or something to rest your hand on, so you bring the floor up to you if that's helpful, and then turn to look up at the left hand. Good, nice, Lisa, lovely posture. Good, Neil. Just lift your arm up a bit more, Neil, can you? That's it, that's it. And then Louisa, just turn your hand around to the other way. That's it. And then you can lift your arm. No, where you were. That's it. And then lift your arm up a little bit more, can you? That's it, you got it. Because it just creates a nice line. Just drawing through the core. Nice deep breaths. See what it's like to straighten the leg a little bit more. See if that's possible for you to do that. Good, Linda. And then as we come out of it, doing that very slowly. So arms come out nice and straight, slowly, slowly does it. As you transition out and down. Beautiful. Well done. Having a good shape. An opening of the hips. Just having a wriggle around, just doing whatever your body feels like doing. It's really strong. It's that, obviously. So it's nice just to listen to what the body needs. So mine needs to do a little bit of a forward bend. So let's do that. So it might be that you have along your mat, just softening through the knees, feet in parallel. Take a breath in, both arms coming up. And as you breathe out, just let the arms go. Just dangling down either side. Let's do that a few times, breathing in, going up, and then breathing out. A real sense of release, of opening. And again, breathing in, breathing out. Good. And then gently coming on up. So I'd like to repeat the balancing posture that we did last time, which is Virabhadrasana 3. So what we were doing was we were taking the arms up and moving forward. So if you've got something you need to hold on to, then even if it's sometimes kind of a bit of a safety blanket, and then you can sort of let go once you're there. So it's entirely up to you as to how you do this. But if you're feeling good and strong and balanced today, then you may well not need it. So we're starting off in mountain and pressing down into the feet. Really making sure the tailbone is coming down to the floor, to the ground, drawing up through the core, having a sense of upliftment, as that helps to keep the alignment so that your nose and chin are lined up with the spine. And if you were to drop a pendulum down, it would just, a plumb line, it would come down in between your feet. So take a breath in, both arms coming up, reaching for the ceiling. And as you breathe out, lifting the left foot up off the floor, just taking a very short step forwards. And then the right leg comes up. You might want to just rest your hands on something to begin with, and then take your hands away. We may well want to just go straight into the balance. So it might be you just rest your hands against the wall. It doesn't have to be a ledge. And then just see, I know you'll be wobbling. Just see if you can adjust it in any way. You want to come out of it and then back into it. Come into it on the same leg so that your brain gets the messages of this is what we're doing right now. And then gently ease yourself. That's nice, Neil. Ease yourself out of it. Come into standing again. Just feel the connection of your feet with the floor. Grounding breaths, just deep inhalations. And then both arms coming up, breathing in. As you breathe out, stepping forward, just a very short little step forward with the right foot this time. And the left leg comes up. And making sure that there's a real tone, whether you're holding or not, whether you're holding onto the ledge or not, just keeping that tone in your tummy, in your back. Lifting up the back leg as far as you can, extending the arms away, maybe lifting the arms up past your ears if that's a possibility for you. You're right, Zoe. It's sometimes good just to stop and start again, just to get that alignment again and go just slowly in increments. There's no rush with this. There's a point where you might want to just pause, have some breaths, and then experiment by going down a little bit more. Well done. Nice, Michelle. Good. And then gently ease yourself out of it. Well done. Just let the arms flop. So we're going to just a really gentle twist. And then just take that hand up to the shoulder. Hip.
Go to ease down onto the floor. So bringing your knees into your chest. And have a little rock from one side to another and really enjoy the sensations of massaging into the lower back. Gently and slowly from one side to the other. And then crossing the right foot over the left, or right ankle over the left. What's it the other way around? The left over the right, sorry. The left ankle over the right. Sorry. And take the hands behind. Take a breath in, breathing out, taking the knees over to the right side. So keep the elbows on the floor if that's possible as you go into a twist. As your feet come to the floor, you can just undo them. And then it might be that you would like to twist a little bit more, so you bring your left knee over the right. So it's a strong twist. And then release the hands, get hold of the left foot with your right hand and straighten that leg. And take the foot as high up as you want to. So you're extending the left leg over to the right. You're holding the foot with your right hand. A good stretch. And then slowly release. Just coming back up. Hands on the knees, have a little rock from side to side. This time the right ankle crossing over the left. And then hands behind the back of the head, the elbows on the floor. Slowly let the knees come down to the left. So just feeling into that twist. Elbows stay connected to the floor if possible. And then allowing the right knee to come up over the left knee. So only stopping when you feel you've had enough. And then holding on to the right foot with your left hand. And then extending that leg away. As straight as you possibly can. Taking the foot as high up as you wish. And then gently releasing that, coming back up into the center, giving your knees another hug and a rock from side to side. And then extending away, take the arms up, push the heels away, really lengthening through the spine, opening through the front of the body. Deep breaths in and out of the belly, and feel how that impacts on the spine, on the pelvis. Maybe sighing the breath out. And then we're going to put ourselves into a really comfortable posture for this Yoga Nidra practice. So you may wish to put your layers on. Bye, Louisa. Have a nice day. So really making sure that you're comfortable and warm. Taking your time to do this. You might want to put your knees over a cushion or pillow or whatever you have, just to let the lower back release. So making sure you're as comfortable as you can possibly be. And take 3 long, deep breaths in and out. And every time you breathe out, allowing the body to sink down into the floor, down into this Yoga Nidra practice. Feeling all the muscles of the body, those warm muscles, relaxing, easing, letting go. And as the body releases, so too can your energies. Releasing any inhibitory movement, just allowing the energy to flow in the rivers and streams of the body. And it's time for your heartfelt pledge. A wise intention that comes from deep inside, that warms your heart for developing a positive quality. Like loving kindness, or for changing a behavior, supporting spirituality, or reflecting something that gives meaning and purpose to your life's direction, your sankalpa. Consistency pays off, so use the one that you've established, giving it time to take root, grow and thrive. And repeat silently about 3 times with heartfelt conviction. Say it to yourself in the present tense, as if it's already happened. Sense what it'd be like for your heartfelt pledge if it were already happening, exploring how it would look, what it would feel like, the type of actions or behaviors involved. Really using your imagination. And if you'd like to make any adjustments now for more comfort, feel free. And please remind yourself to stay aware and alert instead of sleeping.
So we're going to quite quickly go through a mind-body sensing with a rotation of consciousness. So let's take an awareness tour throughout your body. Simply follow along, flowing as we go. If it helps, it's fine to picture these places, experience physical sensations, or have a concept of it, going with whatever comes easiest. You may silently repeat each location to yourself as you mentally follow along, experiencing the flow of energy. There's no need for any movements. In fact, it's better if you can stay still. If your attention wanders, just pick back up wherever you are. Taking your attention now down to your right foot and noticing your big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and baby toe. Sensing the top of the foot, the bottom of the foot, heel, ankle, calf, knee, thigh, hip. Going up the side of the body to the armpit, shoulder, elbow, wrist, the thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Back of the hand, palm, and now the whole hand, whole arm, whole shoulder, the whole of the right side, the whole hip, the whole leg, and the whole right foot. And over to the left foot, the big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and baby toe. Top of the foot, bottom of the foot, heel, ankle, calf, knee, thigh, hip. Going up the side of the body to the armpit, shoulder, elbow, wrist, the thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Back of the hand, palm. Now the whole hand, whole arm, whole shoulder, whole left side, whole hip, whole leg, and the whole left foot. Noticing both feet, both legs, the base of the spine, low back, mid back, upper back, neck, back of the head, top of the head, the forehead, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, space between the eyebrows, right eyelid, left eyelid, right eyeball, left eyeball, both eyes, sensing both eyes and the line between the eyelids where the eyelids touch. The bridge of the nose, the tip of the nose, upper lip, lower lip. Moisten your lips if you like. Jaw, right ear, over the top of the head to the left ear.
and inside the head between the ears, the inside center point between the ears, inside the mouth, roof of the mouth, bottom of the mouth, inside cheeks, and sensing your tongue and where it is, perhaps using your tongue to tickle the roof of the mouth and run it round in there, and allowing the tongue to softly hover in there quietly, sensing the moisture, feeling the moisture inside the mouth. Feel free to swallow or clear your throat if you wish, settling further into comfort and ease, noticing the throat, base of the throat between the collarbones, sensing, getting in touch with the heart, the upper abdomen, navel, lower abdomen, base of the spine, and the whole back side, including the heels, head, hands, and being in touch with all the contact points with the back of your body touches the surface supporting you, and noticing how the surface totally supports you. And all the contact points at once. And the whole front side. And the space around your front side. And now both sides, front and back, as one. And noticing the head, face, brain, and the head, face, and brain all as one. Sensing and noticing the whole self, the entire self, and inside your whole self, sensing into the space surrounding your whole self, and sensing both inside and around your whole self, your whole self, your whole self as oneness. And readjust if you need to for comfort, so you're nice and comfortable and settling in even better. Remembering to stay aware and alert while noticing your entire experience. Turning your attention to your breathing for a while. Let it be. There's no need to fix or change it. And feel free to rest your attention around the home of your heart while you're breathing. As if your heart is breathing. Being centered with your heart. At home with your heart. And now we're going to begin using So Hum as a mantra. So Hum means I am. Use it as a relaxing lullaby and for staying awake with awareness. Here's how. Each time you inhale, silently say, so. Each time you exhale, silently say, hum. That's it. Repeating so when breathing in and hum when breathing out. As soon as you notice your mind has wandered, kindly and gently turn your attention back to breathing with so hum. Continuing on, you may simply listen to your breath, noticing how the inhalation naturally sounds like so on its own, and how the exhalation naturally sounds like hum. Practicing awareness without words. Silently saying, so hum. And now, gently letting go as it's time to transition, flowing into remembering your heartfelt pledge, bringing your sankalpa back to mind to repeat 3 or so times with feeling and from your heart, allowing it to sink in deeply and meaningfully. Imagining how it would be if it were already so. And so it is. Take a big breath in and sigh it out. And it's time to start coming back with full awareness and wakefulness, and to bring back with you all the benefits of Yoga Nidra to benefit yourself as well as others. So that as you become aware of the whole body, simply being here, experiencing peaceful, comforting, and joyful energy, becoming awake and aware of this time and place, clear-headed, and so wide awake, and noticing the feeling of being totally relaxed and refreshed. Becoming increasingly more aware of your presence in these surroundings of belonging, sensing what's above, what's all around, and what's below. Getting a direct experience of being present in this room, here and now. And when you're ready, begin moving the body, stretching it in whichever way you wish. And if you're still lying down, just rolling over onto your side, resting your head on your arm, on a cushion. And when you're ready, easing yourself up to sitting. And once you're there, stretching the arms up, breathing in and breathing out. Just let the arms float down. And namaste. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you.